And that was Becca and Bisakade. And you know, Becca is one of two musicians being featured on our Love Experience package. It is the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, going to be celebrated with great candle lighting and great reveal on the frontages, if not the beach of the Labadi Beach Hotel. And this is how the package is. I've gotten for myself 700 Ghana City package. I want to upgrade to 2,000 because the 2,000 exclusively gives me great time for me to be able to spend with my partner, staying over at the Labadi Beach Hotel, having some candlelight experiences along the beach. You know, that beach, of course, is the Gulf of Guinea. And you have some great time, breakfast, or bed, all well laid out for you, and some great exciting music and dance, and some great renditions of good music from some of your popular musicians, notably Becca, the great Becca, and Kwabena, the Love Man. But for all the things that we have to talk about, the Love Experience, make sure that you are exclusively tuning here and come to the frontage of Joy FM, get a ticket, and get to experience the love on this great package, the Love Experience, Valentine's Day. But Mama V is right here. Charlie, I'm upgrading my ticket, 700 to 2,000.
Romantic, like
I'm very, very romantic. Charlie,
you're romantic?
I think so.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, how would I know? How would you tell me? What do romantic people do?
I think that they are cozy. They show a lot of affection, you know, like I always do. Yeah. You know, I show a lot of affection to you. To you. I'm very nice, polite, you know.
That's being romantic.
What else do you people want? Macra, that's what we're about to speak to. Counselor.
You're like reincarnated.
Oh, boy.
Oh, but if you definitely will have to grab a ticket to the Labadi Beach. Listen, I've said it before. Sometimes when you're doing things by yourself, you say, "Oh, I would do it," and then you never get to do it.
Yeah.
You never get to do it.
And you're talking about the time that you have to spend.
Exactly.
By yourself, with each other, with somebody that you know.
So do it. Just do it. Do it. And do something different.
Even though you're hard, I think that's when your romantic aspect pops up. You're like, right now, as you're talking about
I am definitely
you're kind of just
romantic,
living
Roland Walker.
in the moment. Yeah.
You did.
I'm surprised. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Talk me from...
Oh, what are we talking about?
Talk me from... I will take me la.
What are we talking about today?
Okay, so it's Dear AM. It's our Relationship Friday segment where we allow you to send us a letter. So you can always write to info@myjoyonline.com. Now, what we do with your letters, well, obviously we read, but we also try to get the appropriate expertise in terms of a professional to help you with the issues. But we also share on this platform. So we received a letter through info@myjoyonline.com. That's our email address. And here is the letter that we've received today for all of our attention. Here we go.
I have been watching your program for some time now, and I love the advice always given by your counselors. Dear AM, I am a woman of 38 years. I have had a surgery for fibroids to be removed already. Yet, I am not married, with no child, and not even having a man in my life. I am getting old, dear AM. I just have to look at my old school page and see mates display pictures of their children, family trips, etc. Then I break down crying. Sometimes, I feel like killing myself and end it all. This is unbearable. I am working and a good professional, but still single. How do I deal with this life? Barbara Takrade.
All right, so that's Barbara's letter to us.
Yeah, and that's where we are. And I know that many of us find ourselves in this predicament in which we're growing old, both men and women alike. But I also do know that women become more worried once they feel that time is passing them by. They just don't seem to have that experience. And this, especially in the case of Barbara, is triggered by all the cues that she seems to be getting around her. She seems to be in a very good network of friends and family. and they seem to be putting all the visual cues around you. They have children, they have family, and in this day and age of social media, where you belong to 1,001 platforms, ones that you like, ones you don't like, it becomes quite difficult to try to move away. If you're a religious person, it's even worse, because you go to church, you see them, and it's even the themes of pastors, and they tell you if you're barren or if you want a husband, you to wake up today, you know. And I think that that puts enormous pressure on people. I think that that should not be the case at all. Barbara is in a certain situation in which she has come to the realization that she would want to have a partner or be settled in a family setting. But I also would have to say that should not always be the case if it's not the norm. If you take other countries, especially the Scandinavian countries, we're talking Norway, we're talking Sweden and Denmark, and especially for Norway, averagely women get married these days who are professionals, maybe in late 30s up to about 45. They have a system where they can freeze their eggs, you know. It's not the same setting, but I don't think all is lost for her. What do you think?
Well, I think, you know, it's just the cultural and the kind of setting that we find ourselves. Marriage is not a big deal, but when you say it, then somebody will say, oh, yeah, you're married, so that's what you would say. And of course, it doesn't become easy, again, because of where we find ourselves. And it's almost like everybody has planned your life for you. So you're a child, you grow up to a certain age, people expect that you settle down at a certain age. And as soon as you settle down, you start having babies. But I also wanted to say that, you know, when you have the fibroid as well, even the doctors would tell you to have a child.
Sometimes they will tell you to have a child before you have the fibroid removed or something of the sort.
So I can understand where the pressures, I mean, that's not an easy place to be, because you're dealing with your health and the fact that, you know the clock is ticking in that sense in terms of your fibroid. But you're also dealing with, because she talks about school platforms where people post pictures of their children and that kind of thing, and people are really not sensitive. And sometimes it's not because they are not sensitive or they choose not to be, but they forget themselves. It's like they're living their life and they're communicating with other people who also have children. So they're not minded about your situation. They're just living. But you kind of realize that, I'm not like you. So but at 38, listen, I don't think she should be desperate, really. But maybe it's because I'm a kind of like a liberal. I'm not.
You're a liberal. A liberal is a liberal.
I'm not. I don't know. Like, I don't see marriage as like a big deal. I feel like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And I don't think it's the ultimate achievement. I don't even think it's an achievement. I mean, I think it's just part of life.
And I think that following that, beyond all these pressures, is the fact that in our society, we don't seem to have the right systems. I mean, I'm talking about the right support system, the psychological support systems. Because then
like counseling or something like that?
Yeah, when you have a proper mental health support system, it gets to help you. Because ultimately, sometimes you can feel depressed because you get to have all these cues around
Maybe
you.
group supports.
Yeah.
To find other people.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or let's say you have a state system in which we have a number of psychologists or people that you can go and talk to. You know, people have psychologists that they speak to when they have different problems with their makeup, and they would want to share that sort of information as well. It doesn't get easy, and I think that for Barbara and for all those who are in that predicament, it becomes more difficult to try to get other people to associate with how you feel. And I can perfectly understand how she feels, knowing that all these people tend to show these sentiments of happiness, or perhaps show that sentiment of of being in the right place for them at that time or point in their lives, and she seemed to be missing something, and that is how they make you feel. But I think that you also need to find some level of fulfillment in some other things that just go beyond being married.
Yeah, exactly.
And having a partner, you know, because being married is not the all without, really. It's not everything that you think should be.
Exactly.
We all then, because it's all about compromises.
I think it's just like sometimes we have fake people around us who are doing all the fake things with all the pictures that makes life look like perfect. And so if you're not experiencing life the way that I am painting it, then you're missing something.
Exactly. You know, and I give you a perfect picture of what you're painting. Social media has made it quite well that, let's say, this dress you're wearing, if you have to take a photo, you have to be mindful of the background. So you go and stand at a background where the wall is better shape, etc. But nobody knows that beyond that background, maybe it's a community which is really a ghetto. And this is well captured in the song Audio Money by Rude Boy, who formerly was with P Square, and where we had is it Shatta Bundle, who was in that video. And you see the camera has just a certain frame. The aspect ratio of the camera lens is just in a certain frame. But the other coincidental things around the environment where you're taking the picture. And it's the same thing if we decide to cocoon our lives in that aspect. And the thing is, because people are sharing pictures every day about how smiling their children are in the picture they may have taken with them, how good their food looks, even though perhaps maybe that food they took has no salt, the pepper is not right, it doesn't taste well, but looks good.
Probably it's not even for them.
It's become more like we're more drawn to the aesthetics of life instead of the moments of life. I think
true.
It makes us
I agree with you.
It makes us lose the value of being by ourselves and trying to cherish what we think that should be ours.
Listen, there's somebody
view, really.
and that's absolutely welcome. I guess that's why Barbara wrote to us. There's a book that somebody's recommending. Sends this on WhatsApp. I doubt if we can project this. It says The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. That's a recommended book that this person said, let her buy this book. It is the best self-help book she should grab for herself. All right, you can send us messages. We've got the WhatsApp number on your screen. Send us messages. A bit later on, we'll speak to Amos Kevinanan, who is convener Singles in 3D Summit. And of course, we'll go to Facebook as well and pick your messages on this issue. Barbara wrote to us because she knows that we could support her in this. So if you've been there before, or if you are there, how are you surviving through? Kindly let us know. It will be absolutely helpful if you have an experience to share. So let's read some of your messages. This one says, I would advise her to take things cool, though it's difficult. These days, marriage cry is headache. She should go and adopt a child or go for the artificial way. That's Munira sending us this message. This one, let's see. This is from Citizen Kujo from Cape Coast. Says, I want to tell Barbara not to worry. If she's not married, she should always think of how Abraham's wife gave birth at the age of 80. Always keep praying, Barbara. Well, thanks, Citizen Kojo. This one says she should keep on praying. At an appropriate time, she'll get her husband. Again, my advice to her is that she should also remember to live a very simple lifestyle. Nicholas Edu Mfuafo Chiso Pra. So that's where you're sending this message from. This one says, Dear AM, Barbara's issue is real in the context of the Ghanaian society. I understand how she feels, but if she can relocate, it will be okay for now. My name is Kwesi. Tell her to get in touch. Okay, this one says, it's from Mao Laya from Hohoi Zongo. We love you guys so much, and I can't feel my day without watching you guys. Well, we thank you. May Allah protect you guys and guide you. Okay, so just showing your love to Joy News. The lady should be prayerful. She can drop her number if she needs help. And I'm serious. Well, thank you very much. for reaching out. This one says, I'm Fifi from Cape Coast. Can that woman decide to have a baby with a close make friend if she thinks she's growing old? That comes with a question. We'll ask Amos that when we get him. This one says there are a lot of guys in the system who would wish her also, but can't reach her because her contact is not on the screen. Okay, I get the joke. This one says, good morning, guys. I want to encourage my sister by saying God's time is the best, but then I'm inviting her to the Love Experience show. That's Val Smith from Winneba. So the Love Experience, that's not a bad thing. This one says, it's not easy, as you said. Imagine a beautiful and professional woman like you was still single and not having an issue. You would have inwardly felt same. Please empathize with people in this situation and not just simplify it. You know, that's the thing. You know, when I did my hair and I came on air and somebody sent me a message and I deliberately read it and said, as for this hairstyle there, it doesn't suit it. I read it and I said, you know what? I did the hair for me. So you better get used to it because I'm just going to be rocking it. It's the same thing. I think that is me. Like, some things are not like a big deal. I want to be myself, but I know that it's not easy. I get it. I mean, sometimes when you're not in a situation, you would not know how it feels. And that's why I deliberately decide not to judge because I'm not there. You know, that's the thing.
There's always a crucial time where society seems to have put everything in place, and it depends on which society. And you rightly made mention about how we tend to have social cultural influences on our lives, and indeed, especially in an African setting, it does, because you're expected to grow up in a certain way, behave in a certain way, go to school in a certain way, by which time you would have completed. You should have been doing something by a certain age.
Your life is structured, and you didn't do it.
Exactly.
Somebody already has a template, just fitting.
It is a societal norm, so to speak. Now, when you go against the grain, then it means that you're up for it. And it has to take a lot of encouragement, like the opportunity of having this interaction for Barbara to also get to know that it's not a means to an end, but rather an opportunity also for you to have a proper innate rediscovery of yourself. Look, there are many things that are confronting even those who have partners, those who have married partners, so to speak. And many of the times, because our society says you don't wash your dirty linen in public, we don't come forward to say all the troubles that married people go through.
It's true,
but it's not as cozy and as easy as
it's not like everybody, and it's not like you wake up, roll, and come and sit on air and be telling us about your problems. See, that's why I said, listen, your problem is your problem. You know.
For example, when I come on air, I'm supposed to laugh, even though maybe I have a sick father, or maybe or something has gone on at home, which is not right.
But that's the thing. I don't think that it is acting. It's just that you find a place in you because you know that, there's happiness in you. There's a place. There's something else in you apart from everything else that's happening around you.
Amos is on.
Amos. Yes, Amos Kevin Annan is convener Singles in 3D Summit. He joins us as always. He's got a certain kind of knowledge that we don't. So he's actually the real deal. Good morning to you. Thank you for your time.
Hi, good morning, Mama V.
Yes, Amos, you're good?
Good morning, Roland.
I'm here too. Yes.
And good morning to Michaela and the backroom staff.
Okay. Michaela.
Producer one.
They're hailing you.
Okay, so you've read Barbara's letter.
Yes, I have.
Somebody asked a question I thought I would ask you. It says, can she have a child with somebody close to her? So this is just get a baby.
Well, you see, you make choices based on the values that you have held on to as an individual. Now, those values are very personal to an individual and then also situated within a setting which you describe as a context. So we all make choices based on first our values and based on our shared values as a community. To that end, Barbara has a choice to make. to trust the decision to go and have a child, even in her situation now. For all you know, you're going to complicate matters for Barbara. Now, I have carefully looked at what Barbara has sent you. And I think that I want to commend Barbara first and foremost for making time to watch you on AM show, especially the relationship segment. But for that, I am sure that her stress would have been deepened by the day. That said, Barbara is 38, and at age 38, there are physical and psychological stresses that comes on a person of that age. She has also had surgery for fibroid, which is a physical thing, which is health related, but it's also very psychological in nature because you have thoughts of whether or not it will resurface or whether or not it will impede the process of conception in the future. So there will be a lot of anxiety that would be generated in a person such as Barbara. Now, she being unmarried with her child and says that there's no man in her life clearly touches on three very important areas of her life. First, her physical being as a person. Second, her psychological frame of mind. And third, her social acceptance or integration. Now, she concludes by saying that she's getting old, which means that the aspect of psychological, physical, and social also comes to play again. And that adds to her stress. So you see that Barbara now breaks down anytime she sees pictures of her friends posted on her old school page. And that weighs her down emotionally, psychologically, and physically. It is not unusual, let me say, for a person to feel this way, given the description of her state. But desiring death is to an extreme a choice. Now, the reason I have said that is because there's more to life than just marrying, having a child, and feeling fulfilled. Because you have to ask yourself, what makes life life? It is after you have answered that question that you would then situate the ingredients of life, which may or may not include marriage or childbirth. So Barbara needs to take a step back to appreciate that there's more to life than the two things that she has raised. Secondly, it is important for her to appreciate also that not everybody on earth must marry, and the word is must marry. It may be a desirable thing to do, but not all of us must marry. Some of us would fulfill our destinies better being single. So it means that we've got to begin to look at what it is that is within us that can make society the better for it. It is also important for Barbara to appreciate that there are people who are within the marital union, and I think on your show we've discussed it twice, first on Pulse and then on your AM show, where we've looked at the issue of childless couples, and they are bound. So marrying will not guarantee you childbirth. And I'm happy somebody proposed the issue of adoption. It's so important. It is also critical for Barbara to come to a point of appreciating that in this life, every other human being you see out there has a different kind of stressor in their life. Something that is exerting a lot of pressure on them. It could be a social pressure, it could be physical pressure, it could be psychological pressure. And these may be real or perceived. Real in the sense that, if you do an assessment of it, you know that that is really the case. Or perceived in the sense that it may be something that in the realms of your thoughts, you're conjecturing, but may not exactly be what it is that people are expecting of you. So it is important that she gets to appreciate that within her are enough tools and strength to live this life beyond the current situation she finds herself. And this is where the kind of circle of friends she keeps will be very crucial. And the things that she sees as what defines her life. Because if somebody thinks that a car defines their life, they desperately would want to get a car. If somebody thinks that having a house is what defines you as a person, you want to get a house. If you think marriage is what defines you, you want to get married. If you want to be defining your life by childbirth, it will be the same. But that does not always produce fulfillment.
Yeah.
Because I've seen and dealt with people who have all these and still feel unfulfilled. So we want to encourage her to begin to look at why she is on this earth. Defining your life right.
Would she need like a coach, because you're a life coach yourself?
Sorry?
Would she need a coach, for instance?
Well, some would do, others may not, depending on the situation on hand. Because I have not engaged her directly, I will not be able to make that prescription.
Okay.
That's why I will stay within the general wise thoughts that she can consider.
That radically, which would you say, so on those platforms where there are other people sharing family photos and things like that, she should exit?
No, well, you see, what she has to appreciate is that behind every photo or smile that you see is an untold story. There's an untold story. I watch a series titled The Mask We Wear, and you need to understand that screensavers and toothpaste smiles are not always smiles necessarily. They are just for the moment. It's a moment, momentarily taking photograph. And some take the photo and thereafter, hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
But you won't see that. And so the famous statement that you cannot stop a bird from flying over your roof, but when the bird decides to perch on your roof and build a nest, you can stop it. It's something that she can apply.
Okay.
In that, on your old school mates platform, you can't help it when people post pictures of themselves and their spouses and their children. You can't help that. What you can do is to flip it around and thank God for those individuals and praise God for their lives and pray for them without you feeling that, when. The moment you start feeding on, when would I also, then the stresses begin to come and impact you adversely.
Okay.
So she can't do much about that.
Okay.
Because the moment you raise a lamentation or cry on the platform that, hey, you people should stop posting this, then you are going to get unnecessary attention to yourself.
Okay. Well, Amos, thank you very much for your intervention as always. That's Amos Kevin Annan. He's a convener, singles and 3D summits, also a life coach helping us with Barbara's issue. And I think the advice is clear and, pretty straightforward if you ask me. I think it's more about. But Barbara, if you need us to link you with Amos Kevin Annan, kindly let us know so that we do that. But let's share some of your messages. We're getting ready also to read messages on Facebook. Whilst we get that ready though, this one says, kindly tell her that as she prays for husband, she should be going out on free times and look for one by asking and chatting. No killing of self. You can give her contact to me to empower her. And I must say,
Is it the one who sent the book?
no, I actually, there are other messages that I haven't read out, but there are people who say they are also single. There's somebody is actually proposing that we set up a singles platform so they can all join.
Hey,
there's a long one.
in 3D Joy platform.
Felix
serious.
from Sunyai says, please let's not underrate marriage. The young lady missed something in her life. Help her, no matter how your life becomes difficult. Waking up to someone as your companion is a soul happiness. Knowing someone is there to talk to and not feel lonely is much more life food. Of course, some few people have made marriage unattractive, but that doesn't make it unnecessary. She's 38, and no matter how many good people she gets around her, at the end of the day, she's going to sleep alone in her queen-size bed. You can achieve everything in life, but your sole happiness is getting family with your husband and not feel lonely at your later part of life. That's Felix from Sunyani. I appreciate your message, but I disagree with you. I think happiness is more than what you describe in your message, but I absolutely respect that, and that's it. You know what Amos said, not everybody must marry. You know, sometimes we kind of force and push people into certain marriages, and then they realize that I was even better off when I wasn't married. And I know somebody very close who is happier today after getting married for 10 years with a man that everybody described as perfect for her, a good man. And then she said, within that 10 years, like, that's my most miserable time, and I am a happy person. And this is somebody who's like in her 60s now, and she's just rocking it, you know? So I mean, I get where you're coming from. I mean, it's just like the fingers, it's not all the same.
Yeah.
It's just life, that's how it is. Yeah, look at your nose. Everybody's entitled to one. So we all have opinions, just like we all have the nose. Yeah. This one says, I understand Barbara's situation, but my advice to her is to continue praying and keep on working on herself, not to allow age decide for her, because some of her mates are now dead. I will encourage her to wait on God's time for it's the best and avoid comparing her life with others. For everyone was created with different purposes. I wish Barbara best of luck. I love watching DRM on Joy News. It's Theophilus from Navrongo. Theophilus,
thank you, Theophilus.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We haven't picked phone calls yet.
No, we have
so
not.
So get ready to give us a call whilst you send us messages.
We have our cervical cancer screening.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
I went there alongside Mama.
You can't wait, huh? You went alongside. You know, I'll tell the truth. I didn't go with you.
I didn't say you're a liar.
I went with Fruits, my cameraman, and Mr. Alote, our driver. It was just the three of us.
We'll take phone calls. Please, let's pick phone calls. But before that, let me just go through some of the Facebook messages we have this morning. I have Yabwa Solomon.
Somebody says, ask if she would love to marry me.
And so we'll put the lines you're supposed to call on the screen for you as well, not only the WhatsApp platform, also or the WhatsApp number. We have Yabwa Solomon, so let's put the number they are supposed to call through on the line or on the screen. We do have Yabwa Solomon's message on Facebook, posting or replying to the question or the post on Joy News on TV, and he says, is she those materialistic and those class type of girls, or her parents rejected any man she introduced to marry? And I'm sure her age is what is making you say this. You also conclude that don't say you are desperate, but just that you don't want to marry.
But you see, we are all part of the problem. You don't know all the details yet you draw this conclusion. See? Let's read some other story, some other message.
We have Stafford, but he's in Stafford or Sabote.
Some nice men are. Listen, the messages about like, link up will she marry me and link up and give her my number? Yeah. Like, I've received chow on the WhatsApp. But let's see, Eugene is on. We'll go back to the messages. Eugene is calling from Sweden.
Oh,
Eugene,
okay. We already have some of them calling.
Yeah. Eugene, good morning. Hello, Eugene.
Hello,
yes.
Sorry. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. Yourself?
By grace.
Charlie, do you realize we've done 1 week of February? Your 1 week January pay is gone already.
Today's
come again.
today's 7th, right?
No, don't mind me. Just go on. Share your thoughts.
Okay. Mama B, this is what I want to say. Do you remember Dr. Miso Tebil's famous quote about growing up onions in Africa and outside, a soil example? He said that Michael Essien took a long time before he was famous, but those in the Europe, they are the same gift, and yet they blossom early. What I'm driving at is that it is the location. If this lady was in the United States achieving something, working on something, and looking around and seeing so many people not caring about giving birth, those that have given birth are even having one baby, she would never complain. She will have something different as a motivation for life than marriage. Mama V, let her know that all those that are married, so many of them are crying. They are beating others. Some are being killed. Some, they are babies. The one that you were furious this morning, they are babies that they give birth to are being defiled. And the man is telling them they produce the baby as the woman. There is a lot of issues with marriage. The woman should just prioritize you. The next thing is that, is she plump size? What size is she? If she needs to be slim, she needs to be slim. Does she like people? If she doesn't like people, she needs to start liking people. 38 is a small. You should look at Christianity. I think Christianity and Co should come out and be talking about this thing. You should look at Nanama McBrown and Co. Some of these people need to come out and let them know that it is not about age. Some, you can be 38, you can be 40 and marry happily thereafter for another 40 years and 80 and die.
True.
And she can marry at 38. I saw a quote on my website as my status. He said most marriages are failing because women marry, 90% of them marry those that they because of time, not because of love. It is because now it is time. 38 is too late. It's time. You want someone to marry, so you marry. No, that is not marriage. You should let them understand that marriage is about committing to a loved person that you think you can live the rest of the life. You should prioritize things, Mama V.
Thank you. Thank you, Eugene, for everything that you've said. Absolutely on point. You know, and I think it's even better that it's coming from a man. David is in Cape Coast. David, good morning. Thank you for holding. Hello, David. Oh, apologies, we lost you, David. Kindly give us a call back. But we've got messages. This one says, I think it's about mindset. I've been married for 5 years, but no child. My decision to be happy, my decision is to be happy and not to worry. Is helping me and my wife. We're very happy and in expectation. I listened to Diana Hamilton, and Diana Hamilton's story is widely shared. You know, because she got married and she didn't have a child for a very long time, and then she says, listen, if somebody is married and doesn't have a child, first of all, it's none of your business. Second, they could be trying and not getting it, which even makes it more none of your business. And then 3, maybe the woman gets pregnant and loses it. So don't think that you care more than the person who's going through what they're going through. So thank you for sharing this message with us. Raymond is in Wa. Raymond, good morning.
Hello.
Uncle Ray.
Hello.
Yes, Raymond, we can hear you. You're on air. Please go ahead.
Hello. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Raymond. Kindly turn down the volume on your television sets.
A bit of my thoughts.
Hello, Raymond.
I would like to share a bit of my thoughts on
Okay, please do.
the
We're
issue
listening.
on board. And mine is quite a short one. It is quite a short one, and I think regarding problem solving. Hello. According to Buddha, regarding problem solving, you know, I think for what Buddha said regarding problem solving is that every problem can be solved in 3 ways. Every problem can be solved in 3 ways. You can accept it, you can change it, or you can leave it. And he goes on to say, if you can't accept it, change it. And if you can't change it, you leave it. So from this dynamic, we can equally agree that he has a decision to make and not a problem. He only has a decision to make.
Okay.
So we will advise he focuses on the decision making.
Okay. All right.
And not dwell so much and in seeing it as a problem.
Okay.
We will advise that he has a decision to make.
Okay, sure.
Not that he has a problem. It is a decision he has to make.
So I like
that.
That's very inspiring, Raymond. Thank you. Charles is from Boko Roland.
Yeah. So we have
Charles, good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning, madam.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, please. What I want to share is that looking at the issue which is happening over there, it can be that she didn't like to attract men, and like what the other guy said, she's not materialistic, because some people think at the age of 20 or 18 you cannot meet any man. So at those times, she will not consider herself to be in a relationship unless after time is going on that she will not think men are not finding her attractive. It can be that she has wasted all her time at those days. The day she was attractive and very beautiful. But now that they're seeing that she's 30 or 32, 35, then she's crying to get someone to marry. So sometimes I think she just share the whole story. Is it that she's rejecting men, or is it that she doesn't have the character of marriage, or is it that she doesn't want to marry at all? So to me, I think her problem is to herself. She can solve it in her own way.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you too, Charles. Ebenezer is in Kokofu. Ebenezer, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you for reaching out. Let's hear you.
I just have one advice for her. I don't know if she's already doing this, but women don't especially like propose. When they see someone they like, they wait for the men to propose. And so I'll just advise her to sometimes take the initiative, as desperate as she is. Take the initiative. If you see someone you're interested in, go out, tell the person, propose. Don't be shy.
Has it happened to you before? Has it happened to you before?
Desperate.
Has it happened? No, wait, hang on, don't run off. Has it happened to you before? Has a woman proposed to you before?
No, never.
Okay.
I'm married now.
Okay, but how would you take it? How would you? Okay, well, I mean, you're married, so yeah. I was just going to. I wanted to get an opinion in terms of how the man would take it.
Ask me
because.
You haven't been proposed,
okay,
but I think I would want to
Barnabas is our last call, I guess. Barnabas is in Sonyai. Let's speak to you, Barnabas. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, sir. Please, let's hear you.
You see, this your program is a nice. Say hi to Roland for me.
Oh, hello, Barnabas.
How are you?
Chaladeo.
We thank God.
Right.
This is your age matter. You see, marriage is not about age. It's about choice and how you're going to plan for. You can marry and then you have problem. Somebody can marry later and have problem. The lady who is 31, 32 is two options. Either he decided to complete school before getting married, or he decided that this is not the time that you want to get married. So sometimes it depends the way the person wants it to be. You can choose to marry early and have problem. You can choose to marry early, but you enjoy your marriage. So someone say, I'm going old, I'm going this, I want to get married, I want somebody to be with. But what about if you get to that person and then you have problem with that person? What will you do? God time is the best. You can start to choose late and then you enjoy your marriage. What about if you choose early and there's a war in the house? You can't even come in. The husband will be at work, then thinking that, oh, if I come home, there is fire. Your wife will go to work and say, if I come home, there is fire. My husband don't give me peace. So yeah, it's the other way around. So let's look at it in the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, take your time, pray to God. If you get your best husband or your best wife, then you enjoy your life. It's the matter of time and then committing to yourself to God. That's the whole issue.
Okay, thank you for the words of wisdom. Thank you, Barnabas. We appreciate. your comments and the wisdom that you share with us. Barnabas from Sunyai. This one on WhatsApp says, tell her God's time is the best. She will surely get married. My sister got married at the age of 41. Thank you very much. Roland?
Well, we have a couple of, or more messages actually, not couple. We have more messages. So let's go to Facebook. Yeboah Benjamin. Our women should bear in mind that there's more to life than money, career goals, etc. Let's appreciate people who genuinely propose and demonstrate love to us no matter where we are or where they are. The issue is, what is the point in having all the wealth and be denied happiness for the rest of one's entire life? But in the case, I pray God answers her prayers sooner than later. Let's move up. We have Joseph Van Amwa. Maybe you waited for Mr. Right, who is not yet coming. Accept the common guy and that dream life with him together. Don't wait for Mr. Perfect or Mr. Handsome, Mr. Rich. That's the problem of many unmarried ladies today. And the educated ones also never want to submit. Why? Gender equality.
Joseph, where is that survey that you did?
Mama V.
Yeah, we need scientific evidence.
That's the problem.
Yeah, is it a problem?
Mama V.
Yeah, read this one.
Yes. I think marriage is a choice. G.H. Dahl. Yeah. You will get married if you like to. Depends on his choice of picking a husband or her choice of picking a husband. Well,
there's a common trend, even this one.
We have check your character.
No,
marriage will not take you to heaven. God's time is the best. Okay, so we have if we're say honey, marriage is not the only fulfillment in life. I agree.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
Your boy Solomon
you see,
is back.
that's the thing. That's the thing.
What read it? Is she
read Mami Araba?
Mami Araba says, just growing old. I understand you anyway. Talk to God. That is the best important or the most important of all. To God, you are not old.
So again, I'm quoting Diana Hamilton. If anybody sees you and said, hey, and you're still not married, hey, and you don't have a child, tell them to go to God. Ask Jesus why Roland doesn't have a child. Why are you asking me?
Yeah.
I
think you have a great point there.
Let's end with this message. This one says, good morning, Mama Roland. Please tell the lady to enjoy whatever she's doing now, be it work, schooling, and focus on what makes her happy. Being sad may not help her much. Feeling desperate may push her to go in for anything that comes her way, and that may further hurt her even more. Wish her very well. Well, thank you for sending this message, and thank you for the comments on my hair and the change. Okay, well, yeah, the other comment as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So we decided to
never give up.
Never give up. Yes. Yeah. We decided to.
No. Let me introduce my thing.
No. We have to tell them that always they should give us messages.
There's even an introduction.
Wait.
We talked about. So first, Roland, wait.
Please, you can give us more messages through myjoyonline. info@myjoyonline.com. myjoyonline.com.
It's not even messages. It's people to share. If
you're supposed to give us your experiences, your marital and courtship experiences to us.
Well, that's if you want some intervention.
info@myjoyonline.com. If you want an intervention. This discrimination will take us nowhere.
This is no discrimination.
But have you realized that today, February 7th, is 10 months. 10 months is just 10 months away from the general election.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, only 10 months. We only have 10 months.
I thought you were going to say your January salary is gone already.
February.
No, January. You're enjoying January and February.
I enjoyed January long
February
time.
hasn't ended.
February.